Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly reading. This is going to be for the 4th of June through to the 10th of June 2018, and I'm going to do the astrology for the week ahead and then look at the 3 tarot cards and 1 oracle card as I normally do. So welcome everybody and thank you so much for watching. First of all, this week we have a lot of, you might be feeling this energy already, a lot of communication in the air, a lot of thinking going on because Mercury and the Sun are both coming to conjunction in the sign of Gemini. Mercury rules the sign of Gemini, so it's in its home sign, and so thoughts can be speeding up, speaking can be, you can find yourself speaking more, you can find yourself speaking fast. This can also affect the way you feel. You might feel very restless or wanting to be on the move and more social. You may find yourself communicating more with people, emails, text messages, phone calls, all that sort of stuff. And what else? It can also relate to short trips, so you can be taking more short trips during this time while this energy is prevalent. On what is it? What day is that? Wednesday, sorry, I can't read my own writing, happens. Transiting Venus in Cancer makes an opposition with Pluto. So look out for this energy, especially if you know your natal chart and you have anything around 19 to 20 degrees of Cancer, or even Libra, Aries, because you guys are going to get affected by Pluto this week. So with what's happening just in the sky, though, Pluto opposite Venus, it's a very tense energy. This can bring out some issues to do with female energy, mothering energy, protective energy if you have children. It can also relate to issues coming up with female authorities, such as a mother, a boss, or an older sister, an older sibling, or an older relative having some kind of impact or effect on you. This can affect family issues, so because Venus in Cancer is a very family orientated energy, a very nurturing energy, but it can also just be to do with women. So for women it can bring up some health issues to do with the reproductive areas, even to do with issues to do with the uterus or the breasts even. So that can be something. It's quite a sort of rare-ish transit with Venus opposite Pluto. So I think, it's a bit of a harsh energy. I don't really think it's a very positive energy in general, so just look out for that energy on Wednesday, especially when dealing with women, women in authority, female bosses, or family members that are, having authority over you, or some kind of bullying energy even, or some kind of misuse of power even in your life. So as I said, that's mostly going to affect those with 19 to 20 degrees of Cancer, Aries, or Libra, or Capricorn energy as well, of course. Alright, so Wednesday, Thursday, the Sun in Gemini makes a square aspect, well, the Sun and Mercury actually makes a square aspect to Neptune. So on Wednesday and Thursday, there is going to be a need to be careful with communications because there's confusion in the air on Wednesday and Thursday. So you could be feeling somewhat blocked energetically. You might start off this week by feeling quite a lot of communication energy around. Though the Venus opposite Pluto can bring power struggles and issues there with family. But yeah, the Sun square Neptune, I would say try to communicate clearly on Wednesday and Thursday, because the tendency for there to be miscommunications or misunderstandings is quite high with Sun square Neptune. It can be that, someone sends you a text and you're like, what are they talking about? I don't understand where they're coming from right now. Or you send someone a text or an email and it's the same thing. They're like, what are you talking about? That type of thing can happen when Sun square Neptune occurs. Also, it can affect your vitality and you can feel more dreamy, more kind of prone to daydreaming and sort of being off with the fairies a little bit, because the energy of Neptune there is really sort of bringing in a bit more of a spiritual energy rather than a very practical energy. And we do have a lot of air at the moment, so with Mars in Aquarius and Sun and Mercury in Gemini, it's very airy, so we're very much in our heads at the moment. We're very much in communication with people, especially online communication back and forth. you know, that sort of thing. So on Wednesday and Thursday, you might just want to slow down just a little bit. You might want to just not push yourself too hard on that day physically, especially because the sun definitely relates to, you know, your core energy. So there could also be some issues with short distance travel, potentially some confusion, some, you know, if you're driving somewhere new, Wednesday, Thursday, just make sure you got your GPS out, because you can get lost with the Neptune square sun. So yeah, also, you know, Sun in Gemini can relate to children. So if you have children and, you know, little small children, definitely pay extra attention to them around Wednesday and Thursday if you're at home with them, because things can sort of happen that you're like, how on earth did that happen? You know, and maybe you're not paying attention. That's just another thing. But yeah, generally communication issues with that. Let's have a look at the tarot cards for the week. I've got the Silver Witch Tarot here, so I can use this for a little while. And I'm just going to, as I always do, get 3 cards. If you'd like a personal reading with me, turnaround time at the moment is minimum 7 days. So it's at least 7 to 14 business days at the moment. Okay, so the link is underneath the video to my online store. Okay, and you can read from over 200 reviews from clients all over the world if you've never had a reading with me before you book, if you're interested in checking that out. Alright, let's have a look. This one's really getting my attention. It's sticking out. What is going on this week? Last week we had the Tower card. So comment below if you had a bit of a Tower week last week. I kind of did in some way. But yeah, I'd like to hear from you. Last week we had the Tower card come up, and also the Knight of Pentacles, which was something about an opportunity coming up to do with changes in the workplace, or a new opportunity with work coming up, or needing to take a bit of an initiative with work. Anyway, just wanted to add that in. Leave a comment on this video as well for last week if you watched that one. Alright, so focusing on this week. Where am I? This one's also coming out. So let's see what we've got. Just get a little bit closer. There we go. The Chariot. Wow. Page of Cups. Queen of Cups. Wow, very interesting. Different energy. I feel this very different energy this week. It's interesting, you know, we have all these 2 female energies here with the cups because of that Neptune influence. And Jupiter is still, even though Jupiter is retrograde at the moment, it's still within the orb of a trine to Neptune. So that's a very spiritual energy here. So there could be communications with women this week that, you know, have some kind of deeper, compassionate aspect in the communication. So it might be that you're working with women this week, or interacting with women, or there's a focus on women. That's one thing I'm getting. The Chariot card coming up, you know, the Chariot is about managing your personal energy, you know, not letting your energy get away with itself, and having a balance between the yin and yang, as you can see here, the masculine and the feminine here, balancing that energy. So I think what I'm feeling with this is, and it would relate to the astrology as well, especially with Sun in Gemini conjunct Mercury, is not to get carried away with this week with so much of over talking or over communicating or overdoing it in some way. That's what I'm getting here. It's more of a spiritual energy this week, and that totally relates with the astrology. So, you know, psychic development, working on your dreams, journaling, paying attention to your gut feelings, very important. I'm getting that very strongly. So, you know, if you are communicating with someone new this week, trust your instincts about what you're getting about them. And I always tell people, keep a journal of your psychic knowings, your psychic senses, what messages come up for you, especially in relation to other people or situations that you're unsure about. Make a note of, in a journal, what your impressions are, and then when the situation, you know, evolves or changes and you get new information, check your journal and see, well, is that something that you picked up on? And if so, write follow-up notes about it. It's a good way to practice development of your psychic abilities, and there's a big focus on dreams, psychic abilities, working with women, tuning into the inner feminine, and working with your inner feminine energy. So even if you are a male watching this, you're balancing this week some aspect of your inner feminine self. So that might be something to do with finding more compassion in yourself, kind of taking a step back from being so aggressive about pursuing something this week. Self-care and self-nurturing also comes up. I want to say right now, for some people, and this might only be for a few people or even one or two people, there's something to do with a sister and a mother coming through for this week. So it might be that you get together with a sister and a mother, or there's a communication with your sister and your mother, but that's coming up for, again, I say it could be one or two people, it could be more. And I feel like the sister has a message here. So the mother looks a little bit disgruntled, not too happy, I have to say. So yeah, there's something with the sister, and it feels quite positive connecting with her. So that's just for, as I said, a couple of people. But, you know, these are general readings, so I do get different bits and pieces come out as there's, you know, many different people watching. So let's get one card for this week from the Wisdom Oracle back here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this card, hopefully you can see that it's very light in colours. It's number 34, which is a 7, and it says a leg up. Now, a 7 in numerology relates to spiritual synchronicities and having a spiritual awareness in your life, an awareness of higher forces and forces behind the scenes going on, that there is a connecting thread to events in your life, that things are not random. And the leg up, as you can see, the little baby bear is getting assistance from the bigger bear there, from the mama bear. So again, you know, there's something to do with mothering. That's one message is coming through, or being protective or helping somebody, or somebody helping you this week. So that's a very strong energy that I'm getting with this, and I feel very positive about it. So someone may offer you assistance this week, or as I said, you may offer someone else assistance. If you're a mother and you have children, there's something about looking out for your kids this week, or having to help them with something this week. Yeah, I'm just going to see if there's anything else coming through. It's interesting because there's actually a face, and it's probably not going to be able to be picked up on the camera, but there's a very faint face, like, and some angel wings in the back there, in the white. I can see it quite clearly, but as I said, it probably doesn't come through on camera. There's something going on with, like, for some people, and again, it could be just a few people, I'm not sure, but there's something about synchronicity this week, and this is being overseen by someone's angels, that there is support on a spiritual level coming through, and it will come through another person, but that is also that person's being divinely guided by higher forces, by the divine. Okay, whew, so that came through very intensely. All right, so those are the messages for the week, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic week, and thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next week. Bye.